I'm actually a little bit afraid that after I release this video and publish it to YouTube, that Babolat or Luxlon or any type of large tennis string manufacturer is actually going to put a hit on me. So if I disappear under mysterious circumstances, or if I get several cease and desist letters and I go missing, you guys know exactly what happened. And actually, in my will, I did say that if that were to ever happen, I want Babolat tennis reps and Babolat tennis players to be my coffin bearers, just so the company of Babolat can let me down one last time.
Hey Brian, what's the score? It was 9-5, and I lost that. Nice.
The tennis string that I am talking about in this tennis string review video is actually the reason why this channel is focused on tennis string reviews with an emphasis on consumer-friendly value. I found out about this string back in 2014, about a year and a half after I graduated college. I was looking at an online retailer's tennis string section and sorting the strings based on low price to high price. When I clicked on this tennis string, I didn't really know what to expect because I've never heard of this company before. But after looking at the price and the customer review section, which were overwhelmingly positive, I said, screw it, I'm buying this. And to be honest, it's probably the best decision I've made in my tennis career, without any exaggeration behind that statement. Before we take a deep dive into the string, I want to preface this video telling you that it's very similar to the Babolat RPM Blast. I recently did a tennis string review on the Babolat RPM Blast. I'll leave a link in this corner if you guys want to take a look at a blurry tennis review on that extremely popular tennis string. The Isospeed baseline control was previously a close guarded secret that I kept very close to my chest up until around the 2017-2018 era. And that's when I started telling my tennis string friends around the Milwaukee area about how great of a value and how great of a performance string this actually is. And I was able to save them and their customers / clients tens of thousands of dollars on tennis string alone. And now, just like anything that I absolutely love, I'm going to tell you guys, and I want to hear what you guys think about this string down in the comment section below if you ever played with it. I'm actually a little bit afraid that after I release this video and publish it to YouTube, that Babolat or Luxlon or any type of large tennis string manufacturer is actually going to put a hit on me. So if I disappear under mysterious circumstances, or if I get several cease and desist letters and I go missing, you guys know exactly what happened. And actually, in my will, I did say that if that were to ever happen, I want Babolat tennis reps and Babolat tennis players to be my coffin bearers, just so the company of Babolat can let me down one last time. Before we take an actual deep dive into the Isospeed baseline control, if you guys enjoy this type of content that's consumer-friendly tennis string reviews, please hit like and consider hitting subscribe to be notified on weekly tennis content. It also really helps other tennis players around the world get notified on consumer-friendly strings so I can help them save money, just like I'm helping you guys save money. And if you guys have any questions that want to be answered immediately, I do stream on YouTube Live Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central Time. I typically will be there answering questions or stringing tennis rackets while listening to some pretty chill music. And you get to hang out and talk with some very interesting tennis-minded people such as yourself. This is the video you've all been waiting for. This is the Isospeed baseline control tennis string review.
Nuclear launch detected.
Coming from the baseline, the power on this string was slightly above average. It wasn't extremely good ball pocketing, but it wasn't lacking either. The topspin for the string for a round copolyester was fantastic. I would actually say it gave slightly better spin potential and slightly better comfort and ball pocketing than the Babolat RPM Blast. The slices as well were just on par with any of the round copolyesters that are much more expensive than this. So overall from the baseline, this is a very solid string. I would say it's actually a very excellent string for you aggressive and defensive baseliners out there. For the serves and overheads, it's typical polyester stuff. For the overheads, nothing to complain about. It wasn't too good, it wasn't too bad at all when it comes to the ball pocketing on the flat overheads. Also with the first serves, it was very typical, just average polyester stuff. However, I will say, in comparison with a Babolat RPM Blast, this string gave more spin potential on spin and kick serves, which is something I did note on my tennis string review with the RPM Blast. For the volley and touch shots, again, it was damn good for a polyester at the net. You could really feel like you could stick the volleys deep in the corner or maybe even short angle it towards the line if you feel confident in striking the ball at the center of your string bed. The small knock I will give this string is that for reaction volleys, if it's a slight miss hit or if it's slightly off center, it was just a little bit jarring. It wasn't anything super bad where it would hurt your wrist or super surprising. It just wasn't nearly as comfortable as a Yonex Polytour Pro or the Technifiber Razor Code when it comes to reaction volleys that aren't exactly cleanly hit. Again, this really shouldn't surprise too many people that have volleyed with full beds of polyester at the net. I just wish it had a little bit more comfort and maybe a little bit more ball pocketing for shots right outside the sweet spot of the tennis racket. For the finesse shots, this was one of the better polyesters for finesse shots like drop shots and short angle volleys and short angle passing shots. It's not nearly as good as a Technifiber Razor Code, which still is the king for finesse shots for polyesters I reviewed on this channel, but it's still really excellent. So top marks to Isospeed for keeping that in mind as well. And as for the tension maintenance, and at about 2.5 hours of straight hitting with Isospeed baseline control, and originally strung at 55 pounds, it's still at about 55 pounds. So tension maintenance is pretty damn good from this company. Awesome. As for the specs for the Isospeed baseline control, it is a rounded copolyester and oh my god, it doesn't actually come in packets and I think there's a reason for that you're about to find out. But a reel of the Isospeed baseline control, which keep in mind will string 16 tennis rackets of a full bed, is $40, which if you break it down, that $40 translates to just under $2.50 for a full bed of this tennis string. To put into visual terms, 2 packets of Babolat RPM Blast or Babolat RPM Rough, 2 packets is the literal equivalent, price point wise, of a full reel of this string. And I would actually argue this string is better than either of these overpriced pieces of shit on the market right now. It's so cheap that they don't make packets out of it because it logistically doesn't make any sense because it costs money to put it in these packets and they want to keep the costs low. That's why, based on the price point and their performance, this is the best consumer-friendly tennis string on the market I have ever play tested by far. Listen, I get it. If some 30-year-old guy on the internet with blonde hair is screaming about how amazing this tennis string is, you're probably a little bit wary, and you should be. Similarly to if someone you haven't talked to since high school calls you on a Tuesday night at 5:15 p.m. and says he has a business opportunity for you, you have the right to be wary. Because guess what? It's probably an MLM scam and you shouldn't talk to that person for a while. But let me tell you, I have no incentive for you to buy this string. I'm here sincerely to just inform you guys about my personal experience with an Isospeed baseline control tennis string. And I love it. I actually don't make any money whether or not you buy the string or any string I've ever reviewed on this channel. Again, I do this thing for fun and out of love for the tennis sport. And because I grew up absolutely poor in my household, I want you guys to save money as well if you're willing to listen to me. Again, if you're watching this video and you've played with the Isospeed baseline control, please leave a comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are about this amazingly cheap string, which I find to be better than the Babolat RPM Blast. And if you guys do end up buying this string because of this video, please share it with your friends so they can save money as well. And as always, happy hitting.